Greetings and salutations to you all once again. It is me, the Ravenous Spectre, and this is going to be my review of the Nintendo Switch. Now, it seems like it's a very simple device. Obviously, you have the system itself, and it's in its little dock, and you have the Joy-Cons that'll either connect to the system itself to use it as portably as possible, or you can either use the little dog-eared controller, or handle, or station, or whatever you want to call it, where the Joy-Cons can fit into. And honestly, those feel really comfortable, being able to put the Joy-Cons in the little dog-eared controller thingy and use it as an actual controller. I've used it portably, and I've also used it on my TV, and mainly I just use it on the TV, obviously. But the thing is, though, is it is a very simple design, at least so far. The user interface, everything seems real simple and clean. No pun intended to Kingdom Hearts' main theme. But the thing is that kind of gets to me is really dealing with the accessories. And I swear, I really do think that Nintendo is doing this to make up for their Wii U sales that have been abysmal. I guess, according to them. I guess otherwise they probably wouldn't have turned around and started making this new system. I don't know. But honestly, I was actually going to go today to get a couple more Joy-Con controllers just because of the simple fact of having extra controllers. I didn't get the Pro Controller. I really don't see any reason to get the Pro Controller right now, but I wanted to get 2 extra Joy-Cons so that I would be able to use them, obviously, portably or either on the TV. And I went today, and I believe with the prices that I saw, to buy one of them I think is $60, and to buy 2 of them together, which is left and right I should say, it is $80. $80. You can get a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One controller for $50 or $60, and that's not 2 separate devices. It's all together as one. That just tells me that, even though I do like the Switch, and obviously I didn't do an unboxing video, because actually I was doing it, and I was doing it with my phone, and I screwed it up, and I just never went back to make it. For the life of me, that could be the only reason why they're charging this much. That could be the only reason why. They're making up for their losses because of their slack-ass attempt to try to go and promote the Wii U, which their marketing for it was abysmal, and they're turning right around now and trying to actually gain extra money out of these little devices. I'm like, what the piss? So, obviously I got a launch day Switch, and everything had been working fine all the way up until actually yesterday. It was the first time I was going to use the game, the game system itself portably. One of the Joy-Cons wasn't registering on the system. The left one was, the right one wasn't. So I said, damn it. I said, I heard some type of rumor or something going on about Joy-Cons giving out on people with launch day systems. So I told myself, you know what, I'm going to try to troubleshoot this. Otherwise, I'm going to see if I could either send it to Nintendo and get a replacement, or send it back to Best Buy and get a replacement, or whatever I needed to do to try to get a replacement. Well, anyways, I took the Joy-Con controller out. I looked at it, and I pressed a little button on the side, which I believe syncs it up. I don't know if it's a syncing thing. I guess it probably is. But I'm guessing it's the button that's pressed when you stick it inside of the system itself, or you stick it inside of the little dog-eared controller for it to register to be used. Well, I held it down for a bit, and then I kind of pressed it again. Nothing really happened, but then I ended up pressing one of the buttons on the controller, and the lights came on it. I'm like, what the heck? I was like, it wasn't doing this earlier. And I went and took the Joy-Con out, in and out, inside of the system itself, and also inside the dog-eared controller, trying to make sure I had it as securely as possible. And surely enough, nothing was happening. But when I went and actually did that little thing by just messing with the controller itself out of the dog-eared dock or whatever, and the system itself, it came on. And it's been working fine ever since. So I hope I don't have that problem again. I hope it doesn't happen with the left one. I have no freaking clue how it occurred or what the hell happened. But yeah, that kind of just brings to mind Nintendo goes and puts out this system and wants it to really be a good sale, obviously, because I'm hoping that their marketing is actually better this time around than it was with the Wii U. But here it is now. I had a problem with one of my Joy-Cons and somehow I magically got it working again. That's just not acceptable, especially knowing how some people have talked about certain Joy-Cons not working, and also the fact of charging an arm and a leg just to be able to get an extra controller, or two extra controllers, I should say. Really, what I think is both of them, considering the fact that you can't have one without the other, you should have both Joy-Cons at $50 or $60. Because you're obviously, to me, you're not competing with Microsoft or Sony because their controllers are 50 or 60 bucks and everything's together. It's not two separate devices. And if you only need one of them, then you should pay half that price. It should be $30 for a left one or a right one, whichever one goes out. That's what I think would be the best solution, honestly. You know, maybe 20 or 25, something like that, to try to maybe give a little bit of edge in the competition dealing with Microsoft and Sony, if you want to say that. But honestly, I would say $60 for both of them together and $30 for just one of them. You know, half price. It seems to me like that would make, honestly, that would make better sense, to be quite honest. I can't remember how much the Pro Controller was, but what was it? 70s? I have no clue. I don't see any reason for me to be getting one, especially not at press time. I'm not worried about it. I don't. If there's one thing that Nintendo has always been notorious for, especially when the first Wii came out, it's freaking controllers, man. You got this controller for this, and this controller for this, and this, and this, and this. You got a Pro Controller. You got this other controller. You got this. They got this touch screen. You got this Wiimote. You got, oh my freaking God, man. Oh, why don't we just have one controller for everything and then just call it as it is? You know, that was one of the things that got me about the Wii U. That is the only system where I have the most controllers for, and it's ridiculous. But I told myself after the Wii U, never again. Not doing that. Not doing that ever again. You know, I mean, I got off getting some of the controllers for free. Not for free, cheaper. I don't know why I said for free. I got them cheaper than what the original price was because the Wii U had been out for a while, so there was like some sale or clearance or something that was going on. But I swear, I told myself I will never do that again. So the only reason I wanted to go get those other Joy-Cons was because I wanted to be able to actually have some extra ones, because I have an extra controller for my Xbox One and an extra controller for my PS4, and it's really helpful when you need to charge them. So I'm hoping that while I'm using, if I do get two extra Joy-Cons later down the road, that I can charge two of them while I'm using the other two on the dog-eared controller. I'm hoping that works with the system. I wouldn't see why it wouldn't. I could charge them on the system and then use the other two with the dog-eared controller thing. But yeah, man, I can't for the life of me understand why it is that they would go and well, actually, I know why. It's just, it has to make up for the Wii U sales. But at the same time, I mean, I'm not giving into it. I'm not doing it at all. If I have to, then, you know, I just need to see if I can get them replaced or get them fixed or something. If the damn things just completely give out on me, that's one thing, you know. But then again, I found that it was actually unacceptable that I would actually have to think about going to get another one because one of the Joy-Cons wasn't registering. And mind you, they had been working ever since. And this was the first time I used it portably on just the system itself. So I didn't know if it was the system or if it was the Joy-Con itself. I have no clue which one it was. I'm guessing it had to be the controller, because after I ended up fiddling with the controller and got it working properly, it stuck right in, started playing fine, everything was great, had no problem. hopefully it'll be that way from now on. But overall, I'm enjoying the Switch. Obviously, really it's just a Zelda system right now. That is the only game to me worth playing on it, worth giving a shit about. But yeah, I'm really excited for the JRPGs that are going to be coming out for it. Xenosaga 2. Xenosaga? Is it? No, it's not Xenosaga. Oh, God. No, yeah. Xenoblade. So, why did I say Xenosaga? Yeah, Xenoblade 2, or Xenoblade Chronicles 2, or whatever. That, and there's another one called Octo something Journey Adventure. I have no freaking clue. But it had like a 2.5D feel to it. It was 2D sprites, but it kind of had a 3D-ish feel to it. I'm excited for that one too. And obviously Mario Odyssey is going to be freaking awesome, without a doubt. I'm definitely going to be picking that up. Of course, that's not out to the end of the year. But overall, besides that little hitch that I had, which I managed to fix, Lord willing, it stays that way, the Switch has been working fine for me. Everything else has been fine. I've heard that the system itself undocked lasts like maybe 4.5 hours. And I was playing it last night for a while, undocked. And when I last checked the battery life before I plugged it back up to the dock again, the battery life, I think, was 37% or 39%, something like that. Or maybe it was 34. I don't know. Anyways, it was somewhere in the 30s. So I don't think I didn't have it out that long. I probably maybe had it out for, I think, a couple hours or something. But there was no way that I ended up having it out for that long for it to be able to go down to that percentage, I suppose. But then again, I've also heard it depends on the games that you play on it as well, that determines how much life you get out of it being undocked. So, whatever. That was a lot to say dealing with that. But overall, for the system itself, it's good. I do suggest that people pick it up at some point. I mean, obviously, the only real game that you're going to be playing on it right now is Zelda, as far as I'm concerned. Everything else, it's just whatever. But, yeah. So, we'll just have to see how the future pans out for it as time wears on, because I really just have nothing but hope and positivity for it. The power of positivity, to be quite honest, because Nintendo, even though they had some good games that came out for the Wii U, they dropped the ball with it. Hopefully they won't do that with the Switch. So, Lord willing, everything works out with that. So anyways, I will end this like I always do. Later, taters!